So what I'd like to show here is how to export a KML boundary out of Business Center so that I can use it in my Trimble Stratus drone program. So what I have here is I have just my normal job site with all my layers turned on. I also have to make sure that I have a calibrated site. So the only way this is going to work is if you have a calibrated site, and you can see down the bottom I do have a DC file or a cal file in this project. So what I want to do is find the limits of what I want to fly for my topo. So what I can do, I could turn off all these layers and maybe just find the LOD layer. So that's really what my project boundary is going to be. So I can just use that for a visual, but I do not want to just export that line. I have to specifically go up to my CAD ribbon, and I need to choose the Polygon command. So create Polygon is the command that I need to use. So you have to do it this way. So I'm going to put it on the boundary layer, and I need to make sure that I turn that layer on. Hit OK. And I just want to go around the edge, and I don't need to use every single one of the vertices. So you can see all the different vertices that are on this LOD line, and that will definitely cause a problem in the DJI program. So you want to have the least number of vertices. So what I like to do is just trace the outside so I can try to minimize the amount of points that I have. So if I go straight to this point and straight down to this point, and maybe I can maybe try to cut that corner, I can go there, and I might want to go to this corner. So that looks like a pretty good flight boundary. I could maybe try to bring this into this edge here, but I know that if I just leave it that way, I'm going to have a pretty good flight boundary. So I'm going to close out of that. So now I just have this one polygon, and if I look at my properties, you can see it is a polygon. And next I want to go to the export command. So I'm going to go to my home ribbon, export, and I'm going to go to the GIS tab over here for the file type that I want to export, and I'm going to go to the Kml Kmz Exporter, and I want to select that point or that line. So right now it's already selected, so you can see I just want to make sure that that one line is selected, and I need to show where do I want this to go. So I just hit this button here, and I can find on my documents I have a KML Export folder, and I could just call this project boundary. You can call it whatever you'd like, so I call it project boundary, and I want to make sure it says clamp to ground, and everything else here is the same. Just hit export, and I have now created the KML that I can now take from my computer and copy this onto the SD card that will then be transferred to the DJI controller.